Here we are back in my shop, and I'm going to show you how to make a countertop out of laid up cherry veneer panels. It's laid up on MDF, and we're going to try to book match this top. So yeah, here we are. Let's go for it. So here's the seam. We have these big rings going out. The rings are going out, and then these rings are going out this way, and we kind of want to just mirror image the rings going out each way, which is called book match. So we're going to line these sheets up until we get a good match on it. So that looks pretty good. I'm not so sure if you could see it, but it's almost like there's a lot of continuation lines. Like this grain line continues here, this line kind of continues here, this seam line here match up to there, and it looks like a pretty good match. Close enough anyways. So we're going to put our marks here, and we're going to put a mark here. Now it's time to cut it up. Okay, now that we have our top kind of book matched and ready to be glued up, we need to put a spline in there, something to give it a little bit of strength. And we're going to use this quarter-inch thick, 3/8 deep router setup. And we're going to basically spline these two pieces. Now that we got our line cut in there, we need to cut the spline to go in there. When cutting the spline, you want to make sure that it's nice and snug inside the dado, so that it keeps the top plane flat. That's the goal. We want to make sure that the top is nice and flat. So now that we have our two pieces cut, our dado cut inside there, and we got our spline to go in there, next step, glue up. I taped a piece of just a scrap 1/4 inch, so that way when we put the bar clamps on the edge, it's not going to accidentally flick up this veneer and this material. Safety first. We're going to put glue on both sides of the dado. Put glue on the top dado, bottom part of the dado. We're going to put this spline in. Now we're going to butter up the top, the bottom, and
all along the edge.
just to be on the safe side, we'll put some glue on the bottom there. Line the pieces up. Make sure they're flush this way, front to back. And now we clamp. Want to make sure that it's flush on the top here before you totally cinch it together. And now we wait. Okay, this next step is extremely crucial. So this veneer is only a 1/16 inch thick, so it's not going to take much sanding to burn through this veneer. So what we need to do is we need to scrape the glue. I let the glue sit for like 5 minutes. So we're going to scrape the glue and we're going to give this a little sand to try to sand some of the glue off. And then for our finish sand, once we applied whatever moldings to the front edge that we apply, then we're going to do the finish sand. We don't want to do a finish sand on the seam now because we're going to go over it again, and the possibility of burning that veneer is high. So you have to be extremely careful with this veneer. It doesn't take long for it to burn. So we're going to scrape the glue. And now we're going to give it a light sand. And there you have it. That's how you glue up 2 pieces of MDF veneered. Kind of see the grain pattern. We did our best to grain match. It's not perfect, but we did our best.